Hey, Malamphy fifth graders, it's Mr. Bressman here. So excited to be doing some live lessons with you guys. As you know, this week we're working on word problems using the coordinate plane. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick little lesson for you, and then I will post a problem for you guys to work on yourselves. And then we're going to meet this week later on using our Zoom app, and I'll be there to answer any questions or help you out with anything you guys need. So look forward to seeing everybody at the Zoom, and let's get started. Okay, so our problem states that the coordinate plane shows a map of a playground. Sophia is at the swings, and she wants to go to the sandbox. Then she plans to go to the slide, and finally she will meet her sister at the water fountain. So looking at that information and then looking at the coordinate plane to the right, that makes me understand that this plane represents a map of the playground that she's attending. So I'm going to go ahead and reread it, and I'm going to highlight all my information. I noticed the first time that there were no numbers in this problem, which tells me that the location of each of the playground items is the important information. So I'm going to go ahead and read it again. The coordinate plane shows a map of a playground. Sophia is at the swings, so I know that that is important. She wants to go to the sandbox. That is also important. Then she plans to go to the slide. And finally, she will meet her sister at the water fountain. So I look at those four locations. Notice that the climbing area is not going to be used in this problem. Next, I'm going to go ahead and just review what we've been learning this past week about the coordinate plane and just how we always, plotting points or looking for points, we always start at the origin of 0, 0, which is right here. And then we will use the ordered pairs in the order of x-axis first, or moving right along that bottom, followed by the y-axis, which will be the points moving up and down. And that will give us our ordered pair. So if I look at the swings, where Sophia started, I notice that it is located right here. And if I start at my origin, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places to the right, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places up, or those places are called units. So if I'm going to do 6 on the x-axis and then 6 on the y-axis, it's going to give me an ordered pair of 6, 6. Next, I'm going to go ahead and look at the sandbox, which is right here. And I'm going to notice that I have to move 8 on the x-axis and 2 on the y-axis, which is going to give me an ordered pair of 8, 2. From there, she's going to go to the slide located right here. Oops. Right here. And we're going to move 2 on the x-axis and 4 on the y-axis to give us an ordered pair of 4, 2. And finally, she's going to move from there to the water fountain to meet her sister. And that's going to give us an ordered pair of 3, 1. 3 on the x-axis and 1 on the y. Okay? And that's basically our problem. That's all of our locations we're using and their coordinates. Looking at part A, it's asking me to describe how Sophia can get to each point. So in order to do that, we have to take the point that she starts with and then move to the point that she ends with. She starts at the swings and moves to the sandbox. In that case, we have to move from the swings, we have to move 1, 2 to the right, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 down, and that'll get us to the sandbox. We can also start by our movement down and go 1, 2, 3, 4 down, and then 1, 2 to the right. So it says describe how Sophia can get to each point. I would like for you, in a complete sentence, say Sophia moved from the swings to the sandbox by moving right 2 units and down 4 units. Go ahead and pause it and write that, please. The next place Sophia needs to go is from the sandbox to the slide. So once again, I'm going to start at the sandbox. I can either go left first or up first because the slide is left and up of the sandbox. So you can choose either way. I'm going to go ahead and go up 1, 2, and left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So please pause it and write that down in the box below part A. And lastly, she's going to go from the slide to the water fountain. Again, you can choose whichever direction first. Just know that the water fountain is down and to the right of the slide. I'm going to move 1 to the right and 1, 2, 3 down. 1 unit to the right, 3 units down. Go ahead and write that to finish your answer for part A. Okay, and to move on to part B asks, how many units will she walk? How many total units will she walk? Show your work. I'm going to use the margin to my right to show that work. And what it's asking me is how many total units. So if you remember in part A, we said she moved to the right 2 units and down 4 units to move from the swings to the sandbox. So that was to the right 2, and then it was down 4. 2 plus 4 gives me a total of 6. So I'm going to write 6 units over here in the margin. And then I am going to take her movement from the sandbox to the slide. Again, that was up 2 units and left 6 units. And I know that 2 plus 6 equals 8, so that was a total of 8 units. And finally, going from the slide to the water fountain, she moved 1 to the left, 1 to the right, and 1, 2, 3 down. 1 plus 3 equals 4, so that gives me a total of 4 units. Since we're looking for the total units that she walked the whole time she was at the playground, we're going to use the operation of addition, and we're going to simply add these. And we know that 6 plus 8 equals 14, and 14 plus 4 equals 18 to give us a total of 18 units. Now I would like you to pause it and answer part B in a complete sentence. And now for your problem of the week. It states that we need to use the descriptions to plot each point on the map of a carnival. So just like the previous one where she was at the park and that grid represented a map, we're going to create a map using the instructions here. The first one says that the carousel is located at ordered pair 2, 2. The second one that the funhouse is 4 units to the right and 1 unit up from the carousel. The roller coaster is 2 units to the right and 2 units up from the funhouse. The water slide is 7 units to the left and 1 unit up from the roller coaster. And the Ferris wheel is 2 units up and 4 units to the right of the water slide. So this is the problem that you get to do on your own. You're going to bring your results to the Zoom meeting that we're going to have later this week. And just a reminder, if you do not have access to graph paper, you can always print it. I have a link to the coordinate plane graphs that you can print at home. And if you don't have an access to the printer, I do have a video posted on how to use just a ruler, a pencil, and a piece of paper to create your own coordinate grid. So good luck to everybody. I will be available on that Zoom session to go over this problem and any other questions that you've had with your coordinate plane work. And again, I'm looking so forward to seeing everybody. Talk to you soon.